Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to the Addison Sports Special. Wow, what a guest we got tonight. Mike, nice to see you. Mike Sandrolini from the greatest newspaper in the world. Even beats the Tribune.
Yeah, the Addison Independent.
The Addison Independent,
Definitely.
folks. Wow, right there.
Your hometown newspaper.
Wow. What a paper.
Your hometown newspaper in Addison, right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mike, go back. I know you've told the folks that before. A little background on yourself. You're from middle of the state, Champaign.
I grew up in LaSalle, Peru, Illinois, which is probably about an hour north of Peoria.
Okay.
It's along the Illinois River.
All right.
So, yeah, that's where hometown is.
All right. And what about high school and college?
About a 15-minute drive from Starved Rock State Park. I know a lot of people know where that is. So,
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and then I graduated from LaSalle Peru Township High School.
Okay.
And also Illinois Valley Community College, and went to Southern Illinois for a year.
Oh,
and
you did?
I graduated from Illinois State.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, where did the journalism interest come in your life? You know, how did you say, I want to be a scribe?
Yeah.
That's another word for.
Well, I think it started out really in high school when I was working for, at the time, a student newspaper. So,
really?
Yeah. That's where it kind of got a good feel for writing and whatever. And my second cousin, who's actually my mom's first cousin, name is Gary Kaler, and he was the sports editor at the newspaper there.
Oh,
so
he was.
That's how I got interested in that.
All right.
And Gary was a very good writer, just a very awesome writer, and he could have. He ended up working for an organization in Memphis, Tennessee called Ducks Unlimited.
Yeah.
And but he was up here. He was up in the suburbs for a little while because Ducks Unlimited headquarters is in Long Grove, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And so he was up here for a while, and then he moved down to the Memphis area for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was a prolific writer. He was just very good.
All right, let me ask you this: How do you know? And like baseball, one guy's better than another. How do you know in journalism? How do you know a guy's a better writer than you are? Or how do you guys know that?
I think after a while you can tell what is good writing and what is not.
Why? By the way,
just by the way,
and so on?
just by the way a story is constructed or how the sentences and
Okay.
I think that's how it works. And if you can get through something, read something fairly. Get through it easily, I think, and you're not scratching your head wondering, what was he talking about? So that's I think that's how it.
Okay, I often wonder what makes a better writer than another guy. How do you know that? How can you tell that?
You can after a while you can tell.
Is that right? All right. Yeah. Speaking of that, folks. Mike's, I know, well, you don't mind me telling the folks about
go ahead,
that? Yeah, right here, all the good in sports, okay, Jim? Can you zero in on that? All the good in sports, right there by Mike Sandrolini. Now, Mike, expound on this book a little bit. You got Tony Dungy, LaDainian Thomason, Albert Pujols, Dwight Howard, and did you talk to those guys?
This was actually, what do you call it, a collaboration of authors, and I have a couple stories in there, but it's a lot more. Just a combination of authors.
Oh, is that right?
All of whom contributed to the book. So
okay.
This book is probably about 15 years old now.
Well, I held on to my copy, signed too.
And I'm looking on the back here because I'm just refreshing my memory a little bit. Gary Carter, who you know was a Hall of Fame catcher.
Oh yeah.
He wrote the foreword for this, and sadly he passed away a few years ago.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So, but. If you go down the list, I think Tony Dungy, I'm sure people still recognize him. Albert Pujols, who recently retired.
Yeah.
Mary Lou Retton, who was obviously a famous gymnastics back in the day, and Mike Singletary, I'm sure Bears fans are aware of him. Mm-hmm. Dave Dravecky, who a left-hander. Who remember he had, of all things, he's a left-handed pitcher, and he had some kind of a cancer in his arm, and he had it. And
really?
And he was. I think he had to have it was surgically repaired at one point, but then he broke it pitching again, and I think he eventually had to have it amputated.
Oh,
from what I
really?
understand.
That's too bad.
So, Kurt Warner is another one.
Right. Yeah. But the good in sport, meaning what? These guys were church guys? Not
Well,
church
I think,
guys, but
yeah, I think it was more or less a lot of testimonies to their faith. And,
Oh, yeah.
and so that's kind of the gist of the book, where all their faith is worked into their lives and being athletes and coaches.
Besides being a great athlete
Yes.
in that particular, they're a great person.
Yes, exactly.
And so
Yes.
hopefully they'd an image for kids
Right.
coming up.
Yep.
So that was
So that's what and the book, from what I understand, this is going back, like I said, 15 years. When Amazon, well, it's a mega company now.
Yeah.
But Amazon back then was just more or less a bookseller.
Really?
Yes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was
Yeah.
a bookseller. And I think they used to divide the books up into categories like sports, biographies, and all that. And depending, I don't know what the sales were. I don't think it's depending on sales per se, but you have rankings, and these go nationwide. And you have rankings, and I think this book got into the top 50
Really?
sports books in the country at one point. And again, that's based on sales and publicity and whatever.
Well, right, yeah.
So that's
but
how.
that's
yeah.
out of thousands of books that are published.
That was a nice development.
Yeah.
It was a nice development for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the Addison Independent, okay?
Yeah.
Before the Independent, Mike, were you with another newspaper?
I was with the Suburban Life newspaper for probably about 5 years, maybe.
Okay.
Before that, and prior to that, I was at the Elmhurst Press, which is now, it's separate from the Elmhurst Independent.
Oh, it is.
So
okay.
yeah, and then prior to that, I was with the Daily News Tribune in LaSalle.
Oh, wow.
And I came
okay.
up here and I worked for the Wheaton Daily Journal, which no longer exists, and a little bit of with the Elgin Courier News.
Okay.
And that was part of the Wheaton Daily Journal. They were owned by Copley, I believe, at the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Out of all the, well, you don't only write sports, because I've read some of your columns in different, right? So you do a little bit of both,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
In there. Name some of the guys that you actually interviewed, sports celebrities, if you can.
Mike Singletary's one of them.
Okay.
He was.
Where'd you meet him? In a restaurant?
No, he was. I think he was. Might have been on the tail end of his career with the Bears at the time.
Okay.
But
how'd you go through the Bears?
Yeah, you go through the Bears, or what happens is you go in to the locker room afterward. If you're a member of the media, you get to go in the locker room.
Oh, which you were?
If they're available, then you can talk to them if they want to talk to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
was he pretty?
Oh, he was a very insightful. He's a very insightful guy.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
Well, did you interview him in the locker room, or did you go to a restaurant?
I think that we
or at
did
his house or something?
Yeah, I think we did a phone interview at the time.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah.
So as he's telling you, you're right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it worked. And a couple of other ones was actually, this is going back a number of years. I was working at the News Tribune at the time. My first job out of school. This was back in the early to mid 1980s.
Yeah.
So I was thrilled because we were able to get a press pass. I was able to drive from LaSalle up to Chicago.
Oh man.
And this is when right at the beginning of Michael Jordan's career.
Really.
And so I remember. This was like one of his rookie year, and we went up there. There was like 4 or 5 guys, and I was one of them. We were interviewing him in front of his locker.
Really?
Yeah, that was and who knows, just from that point on, how his career was just going to catapult.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, did you get to see him play? Yeah, naturally.
Sure,
you did that game. Yeah,
yes,
right.
Yes.
Probably scored 40 or I don't know.
One of the I ended up after I moved up here back in the mid 1980s. I ended up working, like I said, for Copley newspapers.
Yeah.
And once in a while, they had a couple of guys go down to the old Chicago Stadium and interview, just cover the game, okay?
Oh, okay.
And go in there afterwards and interview players. I'll never forget this. This was I went to a playoff game down there, and that was the year, you remember, that Michael Jordan quit the game for a year and he was playing baseball.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's right.
That was the infamous 1.8 second game that you remember that I think Phil Jackson had, what was his name? Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
Take the last shot with 1.8 seconds.
He got it off.
And Scottie Pippen didn't go into the game. Everybody's looking at each other wondering, what happened? Why isn't Scottie Pippen in the game? And that was why.
But
that old Chicago stadium during the playoffs, it was just, you literally could not hear.
Yeah,
There were like 2 or 3 rows of media, and I was down there at the time, and you could not hear a thing. That's how loud it was.
I used to go there and watch hockey games too.
Yes.
But you know what, Mike? Back then, it was lucky if they got 5,000 people.
Yeah.
We were way up there.
Well, I think to the Hawks' credit, even though they're not doing well this year, it seems like they're getting a good amount of crowd support still. Fan support,
well, I don't know if they sell out every game, but they probably do, you know, get close to it.
Yeah,
you know? Why'd they trade all them guys?
Well, I think the only one left is Jonathan Toews now, I think. And it sounds like he might be wrapping up his career with the Hawks. It sounds like this might be his last home game coming up or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just after a while. We were talking before the show about the salary cap. That's come into play now. And,
they can only pay so much.
And now that's what you have to do nowadays. You have to. Unfortunately, I think they don't want to call it tanking, but unfortunately that's what happens.
Okay.
And so yeah.
All right, hold on, Mike. We're going to take a fast break, and we'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, folks, stay with us now. Take a fast break. Back with Mike Sandrolini from the Addison Independent. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. In case you just joined us, we're here with Mike Sandrolini. Mike, again, good to see you, guys.
Good to see you, Don.
From the Addison Independent, greatest newspaper of all time.
That's right.
Mike.
Still going strong.
Yeah, still going better than the Sun-Times or in the Trib. Right here, Mike, expound on this a little bit. Mike's going to probably put it up on the screen. No points, no injuries, and for a scribe. Now, I bet you a lot of people don't know a scribe, but that's a newspaper writer.
Just another term for a writer.
Yeah, a scribe. When I seen that, why didn't you score? Now, here you're in there.
I don't know. I think only
Robin Earl from the.
I think we only took a couple of shots. I don't know. I was just fortunate. This is going back 8 years, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
I can't even remember
more than that.
I can't even remember a lot of the details, but I think at the time we were playing a couple of guys from the Chicago Bears or something. I can't.
Well, yeah, Robin Earl was there.
I think he might have been on our team.
Yeah,
on our team. Yeah,
yeah. That was a fun thing.
Yeah,
and then.
But you would just want to come out of a game like that. Having not played competitive basketball in years, you just want to come out of there without turning an ankle or something worse at that point.
That's true. And then another thing too, Mike came in second place on this. There was at least 10 athletes that my son John had put together to challenge the old man, or not, I don't know, but that was he called it something. Challenge the Don, I think.
I think there were at least probably there might have been 15 or 20 guys there.
Well, okay, but anyway, I don't know if it was that many. But what it was like maybe 10 events. We did it indoors.
Yes.
You could basketball throw a football, throw a tire, kick a soccer ball, anything indoors. Tennis even. I think he hit a tennis ball. It was a challenge. And Mike came in second. And guys were younger than you. You came in second place.
Well, the thing is, I remember that because I was trying to. I think he had to put a golf ball through a certain target.
Probably,
and I came. If I had just done one time, I think I would have won it. Yeah. But I ended up getting beat by a guy. Who was a former
Peter Patterson.
Yeah,
Peterson.
I think he was a former college soccer player, so I never got that far in athletics. So that's pretty good.
20 years younger than you, and so on. Yeah. And I think I beat out. I came in second to last. I think I beat out a guy named Lee Rupus, a big bodybuilder guy. Remember him?
I remember him. Yes.
Yeah. Muscles like crazy.
Yeah.
I barely beat him out. But them guys were all a lot younger.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure.
But that was fun. All right, Mike. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you this book. Okay.
Yeah.
Sports: A Complete Visual Reference. Now what?
I think I have one of those.
Turn to a page. and ask me about that sport. See if I can.
Okay, here we go.
And then I'll do the same to you.
The triathlon.
Okay.
Yeah.
A triathlon.
Yeah.
3 events,
Right.
folks. 3
Yes.
events: swimming,
Yep.
bike riding, and swimming, running.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't. I'm not sure the dimensions as far as.
Yeah, I think I'd have to.
But it's called
Yeah.
a triathlon. If
yes.
you could do that,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks, get in. Well, you got to
can't-
run. You got to
Yeah.
swim. I think it's 3 miles or something. Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That wouldn't be me. Maybe if they had. Maybe if they had forklifting, I'd be able to do that. I'm pretty good at that.
All right.
Or sprinting to the refrigerator.
Right. All right. Now I didn't pick out a certain one. I just
All right.
gave the book a first
All
time. I'm just going to go to one. See what. I hope it's not too hard, Mike.
You're going to
'Cause it
stump
has
me, I'm sure.
Something to do with ice skating.
Yeah.
Figure skating, of course. Now, what do you have to know? Well, figure skating.
It's very athletic. Obviously, very athletic. You have to do all the spins and turns and what have you. That's
I would
that is
think
very
so.
very athletic.
Yeah, it looks easy, but try to do it, right?
I'm sure it takes years and years and hours upon hours of training for that.
All right,
to
give it back to you.
Right, yeah.
Pick one out, and whatever comes
right.
up, I'll see if I can expound on it.
Okay. Oh boy. Wow. This is. So, I'm sorry. Giant slalom.
A giant
Slalom?
slalom?
I think
that's skiing, right?
Yeah, it involves that.
It involves,
but it involves only, according to this book, it involves you're just on basically you're on a skate, you're on the equivalent of a board. It's like a
skateboard.
It's like being out in the ocean on one of those. What is it?
All right.
If
a slalom. If it was a slalom, I think that has to do with skiing, where you go down.
Yeah, you have
go
2
through
feet.
gates.
You have 2 feet on the board, and that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me that book. Let's
so-
see. I'll try to stump you. Hopefully,
Well, that won't
come up with
that won't be a problem.
A football or something. All right. Let's see. Rowing. Well, that's the.
That's
how
pretty
about
easy.
Billiards?
Yes.
Why am I? Go ahead. Billiards or pool. What's the difference? I wonder.
Well,
Between
I think,
billiards and pool.
isn't it basically the same sport?
Well,
I don't know.
No, I think billiards. There's no. Everything's on the table. There's no pockets.
I see.
That's billiards.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
And
Yeah,
you got to get close to the cushion.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but of course pool. There's
Yeah.
a cushion. Okay. So, all right. How about? Let me see this one. Race walk. Oh yeah.
Race walk.
Race walking.
Oh, is that where they're just walking very very fast? It's almost like a slow jog, only
Well, yes,
walking.
right. But you have to. You can't lift.
Oh,
Okay.
right,
'cause
right.
I've,
You can't
I've
lift your
done
feet.
that.
Yes.
It's a race. You can't jog like
right.
that. You've got to heel toe,
Yeah.
heel toe, heel toe.
Yeah,
as fast as you can.
I remember seeing that on the Olympics one time, and it's very unique.
Yes, look at it. But you could go. You could walk fast with that if you. Once you do,
would that be my cup of tea as far as a sport? No, wouldn't be.
All right, let's get back to
right.
your favorite team, the Cubs.
Oh, they're my favorite.
No, wait,
I can't make too many jokes about them right now because I'm a Sox fan. Okay, I'm a frustrated Sox fan right now, but there's always there's always some good back and forth between Cubs and Sox fans. They always tease me about, you can't go down to the south side. You're taking your life in your hands. Nobody goes down there. There's no crowd. And I go out. I just say, well, outside of Wrigley Field, I don't know if I'm at a church or what because I see all these statues out here. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I got a kick out of that when Mike told me. He says, the Cubs. I don't know, Don. I'm not. I said, wait a minute, what's wrong? The fans. But every city has fans that cheer.
Yeah, every city has fans. Every city has fans on both sides of town that are annoying. I get it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't understand why guys hate the Cubs, hate the Sox. I don't know if it's hate,
no,
but
that's not hate. It's just,
but I guess
we just have a
but
good.
to me,
we have a good time.
I
with
like
back and
both
forth.
teams
Yeah,
because I could watch a game.
Yeah.
You know, oh, the Cubs aren't on or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can watch the soccer. I'm watching a
I have to
baseball
say,
game.
As much as as much as it pains me to say this, I think Jed Hoyer did a good job over the offseason bringing in veterans such as Eric Hosner and Trey Mancini, people like that. Now, see what's going on right now and compare that what's going on the South Side. With the South Side, you got three guys that are on the injured list who are all familiar names.
Yeah.
Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, and Tim Anderson are all back on the shelf again.
Yeah.
And to me, I was discussing this today with another fellow Sox fan, and I'm saying to myself, I told him, you know, if the Sox would have picked up somebody like Eric Hosner or Trey Mancini, they would have a little bit more offense at this point.
They might.
Because
you're right.
You're talking about three players there that are the core of your offense, and their replacements right now are not doing the job at all. They're just not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
right.
I'm really kind of surprised because Rick Hahn is a smart guy, but I'm puzzled as to why he did not look down the road a little bit. And you say, well, how many games has Eloy Jimenez missed over the past 2 or 3 years? Mm-hmm. Same with Tim Anderson. He missed like 70, 80 games last year, and Moncada as well. I mean, don't you want to shore up the ranks a little bit?
If you wanted to, could you get an interview with him, the manager of the Sox, if you wanted to?
Well, you have. I think you coming. You know, with our newspapers, it would be a little bit more of a tough. It'd be tougher to get something with him.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a part of the Chicago media and you're around, or if you're around all day, to get an exclusive interview, okay.
Depending on the schedule.
It depends on the schedule. But I think like a lot of these managers, they usually have 15 minutes before the game that they meet with reporters.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about the Bears? What do you think? Do you like Justin Fields?
Yeah, I think obviously he needs to. He's got to show Chicago Bears fans that he can pass on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know he can run.
Right. Obviously.
So,
right. Yeah.
But I think they did a good job trading that number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I think they almost had to because there's so many holes on that team right now.
That's right.
They had to.
I think too that a lot of the plays they called to goof him up a little bit. You know. I mean, it's obvious 3rd and 12 he's going to pass or whatever. You know. Or maybe mix it up a little bit. You know.
The thing that I often wondered, and well, we both remember the great Bears teams in the 1980s, and guess why they were successful is because they had star players on both sides of the line. Defensive line, Dan Hampton, Richard Dent, and Fritz Perry.
Yeah, right.
Guys like that. They were all, Pro Bowlers. Same with the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I've often wondered in all these recent years with the Bears why they did not. They seem to be piecemealing the line. Mm-hmm. Why not get those guys, get those number 1 picks, number 2 picks, get them plugged in there.
Yeah,
and build through the draft like that, like they did back in the 1980s. And who can. Outside of Willie Gault, remember Willie Gault, the wide receiver? Well, who do Bears fans remember after that? Who the wide receiver was? Maybe Dennis McKenna. They didn't have much there.
No,
but they had a heck of an offensive line.
Yeah, that's what did it.
And Jim McMahon was a.
I'm glad when they got him.
He's a good quarterback, but he wasn't spectacular.
No,
but he was a good leader.
Right.
He knew what to do. He's very smart.
He was smart.
So that's what I think. That's where you can. With the Bears, I think really you can always plug in skill players. But then again, the game has changed since back in 30, 40 years ago, where they used to.
It's a lot different.
They used to run more, obviously a lot more dependent on the run. Now it's more of a passing game. I get it. So
bring back Walter. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, hey, buddy, I'm glad you spent some time with us. Okay.
Great to be here, Don.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching the show,
Yeah.
and I'll talk to you next
All
week.
right.
Take care now.